Coming to the new batch commands that have been introduced in 5.9. As you can see on this slide, we have arranged the command section into three broad categories. Project level commands, there are calculation level commands, and there is a whole set of parameterization that has been done. In project level commands, you can execute certain tasks such as creating a new project from an existing one or setting the path to a project using these project level commands. In calculation commands, it is an extension of what we already had in the previous 5.8 version. For example, in 5.8, you could create a set of commands such as geometry calculation or thermodynamic calculations, and then you would have to launch the SCORG GUI and run it using execute batch commands through the GUI. The development which has happened in 5.9 is to do it in a complete silent mode, which is why we have a new tag -g that has been introduced. So when you launch a command with a -g tag, SCORG executes in the background, and in the Windows, it is not presented to the user. That's what this silent operation means. Also, it's a sequential process. You can arrange a different set of commands in a sequence, and those commands will be executed on the given project. Within those commands, you can also change the project using project level commands. In terms of parameterization, a keyword has been introduced called parameter change. And using this keyword, any of the variable in the SPF file, which directly defines the setup of the SCORG project, can be changed. This keyword can be used to change one parameter at a time or multiple parameters at a time, and they can come from different sets of modules. A simple example would be you could change a gap size, you could change wrap angle, you could change operating pressure, and you could change the grid generation parameters in just single command using the parameter change dialog. Similarly, all these commands can be organized into a batch file, as you see here, and this batch file can be executed in a DOS prompt. So in a simple demonstration, I'll show you this with an example of a dry air compressor, which we are calling it as a base case. So all batch utility works with a base case. The base case is the governing profile that you have. If you are having a licensed profile or you're using a demonstrator profile, then your base case can also work for optimization of the profile. So we start with a base case and then jump to a test case where all parameter changes are done. In this test case, we are changing the radial gap from 180 microns to 100 microns, saving the project as a new project, and then running set of calculations in a sequence. So geometry, thermodynamics, and force. Once that is done, the project is saved as test case 1. Again, we replace the test case with a base case and jump to test case 2. And in this test case, instead of a radial gap, now we are changing the wrap angle and doing the same set of calculations. So as you can see here, I have the base case, which is a 3.5 dry air compressor. And I will go to command prompt, launch SCORG. And just take you through the base case. So this is a typical 3.5 configuration. And in this case, as you can see, the radial gap is 180 micrometers. The wrap angle is 308 degrees. And we have a certain performance here, which is obtained from thermodynamics. For example, the efficiency of volumetric efficiency is 71%. Power consumption is 65 kilowatt. And specific power is 4.5. Now, in the previous versions of SCORG, you could go to run execute batch command and do the set of calculations. And it was limited to a GUI operation. In the new version V5.9, you don't need to keep the GUI open. Now I'll just close the GUI. I know where the base case is. So the first step in this exercise would be to locate the SPF file and the path where it is. And once that is known, you can set up your batch script. In this batch script, you will say the set SPF file and give the entire path. So once this path is set, in the next sequence, whichever commands will be used, for example, save as, would act on that case. So what I'm doing now, I'm just running this batch script in the DOS prompt, and all those set of calculations will be carried out. The base case will be used to create the test case 1, where the radial gap will be changed from 180 to 100 micrometers, and it will get created here. On that case, the geometry, thermodynamics, and force calculations are done, and the next case is started, where the wrap angle is changed. And again, the geometry, thermodynamics, and force calculations are done. And once that is completed, the script will come out of the batch mode. Now you can again launch SCORG and just verify the changes in the parameters and the effect it has on the results. So the first test case was a change in gap size. So I can go to profile and verify that it was changed to 100 micrometers. And on the result, you can see it was just calculated, and there is an improvement in volumetric efficiency by 5%, and there is a drop in the specific power, which is natural because of the reduction in the gap size. Now, if I open the second test case, here I have changed the wrap angle from 308 to 360 degree, which is reflected in the output now, and its impact on the performance can be seen in the reports. So there is not much change in the volumetric efficiency, but indicated power and total power has dropped by 1 kilowatt. The specific power is still higher because the efficiency was lower as compared to the base case. So this is how a set of parameters can be easily changed, and the entire scenario can be simulated in the background. This example is also available in the new tutorials folder, and you are encouraged to try it out. It is not limited to the desktop application. Even on SCORG Alto, which is a cloud application, the batch script can be executed in the same way.